talking about how to get two to $10,000 more from every job offer, written job offer that you get. Okay, so we're going to talk about resumes, what hiring managers are looking for the moment they take a look at your resume. What if they don't see this, right? They are going to reject you and they're going to throw your resume in the trash, right? I'm going to tell you why that happens and I'm going to tell you how to avoid it. Then I'm going to talk about job interviewing. I'm going to tell you what the job interview is not about, right? What most people think it's about, but I'm going to tell you what it's not about. And then I'm also going to tell you what the job interview is actually about. And I'll tell you the 6 to 8 questions every hiring manager is going to ask you during the interview. I'll tell you what they're going to ask, why they ask it, and how you should answer and why, right? Then I'm going to talk to you about how to find jobs. I'm going to show you how to find tens of thousands of jobs on LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, and Indeed.com that you can apply to in seconds, right? A lot of people think that there are not a lot of jobs out there, but there are a lot of jobs out there. But I'm going to show you how to find those jobs and apply to those jobs in seconds per day, right? And then finally, I'm going to tell you how to get $2,000 to $10,000 more from every single written job offer you ever get. $2,000 to $10,000 from every written offer you get, right? Not verbal offers, but written offers. And I'm going to tell you why you can get that $2,000 to $10,000 every single time for the rest of your career and for the rest of your life. I'm going to share with you how to do that. Okay, so we want to get started. To make sure this is spread wide over the platform, just tap the screen so we can do likes, right? If you want me to review your resume for free and you want me to tell you what to fix and how to fix it, you could just email me, Daniel@dscds.com. Daniel@dscds.com. So we're going to dive right in and we're going to talk about resumes. What is the resume all about? What is it not about? What are hiring managers looking for? And if you are applying to jobs, but you are not getting job interviews, the reason why that is happening is not because you're not qualified. It's because your resume is broken. Hiring managers don't see what they want to see when they look at your resume. It's important for you to understand that. Okay, now the issue is if you don't know what hiring managers want to see, you're going to be creating a resume that's a historical, chronological document, and that's not what hiring managers care about. They don't care about that, right? Now, you think they care about your previous experience, education, and background, but that's not what's important to them. And that's not what they're looking for when they pick up your resume, okay? So you decide, I'm working, but I don't like where I'm working. I want to get another job, right? Or you're not working. Maybe you were laid off or you had some sort of gap of employment or something like that, and you want to get another job. The first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to get your resume ready. Okay. We're at 3 likes. There's 100 people in the room. I want us to take 15 seconds to spread this all over the platform. Tap the screen, just click like for 20 seconds. All of us just click like for 20 seconds and it will immediately get to 1,000 to 5,000 really quickly. Okay. So check this out. So keep tapping the screen. What do hiring managers want to see? Right? Let's talk about what your resume is. Yeah, keep tapping the screen. Your resume is not just a historical chronological list of your previous work history. That's not what it is. Okay? You may think that's what it is, but that's not what hiring managers are looking for. In fact, we barely look at your previous experience. Barely. Right? We may look at where you worked, how long you worked there, maybe your job title, but we don't look at much more than that. Okay, keep tapping the screen. It's 114 people in the live. Tap 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 until we get to 5,000. So what do they want to see? Your resume is not just a historical document. Okay, I tell my clients it's a marketing tool, and that's how you have to start looking at it. Right? It is a marketing tool. It is a tool you use to market yourself and get yourself in front of as many hiring managers as you can, right? Now, getting in front of as many hiring managers as you can is one thing, but showing them what they want to see is something completely different. And if you don't show hiring managers what they want to see, you are not going to get an interview. And if you don't get an interview, you can't get a job offer, right? So everything starts with your resume, attracting the attention of hiring managers and recruiters. Now, I'm going to explain something to you that'll be very clear about you when you're looking for a job. And it's the same thing hiring managers want. Keep tapping the screen. It's 120 people in the room. If we tap the screen for 15 seconds, we'll get to 5,000 likes. Okay, just keep tapping the screen. All right. So imagine you want to go look for a job. There are 4 things every candidate wants to know before they click apply to a job. See, you don't want to waste your time, right? You ain't got time for that. You're not going to apply to a job if it is not what you want. And there is 4 things that you look for before you apply to a job. We're 3,200. Keep going. Let's get to 5,000. Just tap the screen. 120 people in the room. Okay, so what are those 4 things that you want? When you're looking for a job, I know this because I've been a recruiter for 35 years. This is how I create job postings. And I did this because many, many years ago, candidates like you would ask me these questions. You would ask, what is this job doing? Right? You see the job title, but what is it actually doing? What will I be doing for work? Okay. That's the first thing you want to know before you click apply. The second thing you want to know is, okay, I know what this job is doing. Where is it located? Like if it's 2 hours from my house, I don't care what the job is doing. I don't care what it's paying. I'm not going to take it. Right. So you want to know, where is it located? Is it a remote position? Is it a hybrid position? Is it close to where I live? When I started recruiting, most people wanted to work within a 15 to 30-minute drive from their house, max. Right. So where is the job located? The third thing you want to know is, okay, I know where it's located. I know what the job is doing. How much does this job pay? Right? That's what you want to know. Before you click apply, you want to know, what does this job pay? Right? Because if it's not paying what I think I'm worth, or if it's not paying much, I'm not interested in applying. I'm not going to waste my time. That's what you're thinking to yourself. And then we're at 5,000 likes. Keep going. Let's get it to 10,000 likes. Just keep going. Just tap the screen for 20 seconds. And then the 4th thing you're interested in is, okay, I know what the job is doing. I know where it's located. I like what I see in terms of the pay. But if I click apply, what are my chances that someone's going to call me back so I get an interview? What are my chances for getting this job? Right? And that speaks to, how long has this position been posted and how many jobs are actually open for this particular role, right? So if it's customer service and we say it's 1 job open and it was posted 30 days ago, okay, you're probably not going to apply. But if I say if it's 100 job openings and it was posted yesterday, you're going to apply to that job because you think that you have a very good chance of getting the job. So you don't want to waste your time as a candidate. And by the way, you shouldn't waste your time as a candidate. I don't advise that. So job postings must show you what you want to see before you click apply. They must. If they don't show you what you want to see, you're not going to apply. Now, I know that. And whenever I am creating a job posting for a hiring manager, I tell them that. I say to them, I need this information and I need to put it on the job posting because if I don't, we're not going to get that many candidates and you're not going to be able to hire the best talent for your team. Just not. It's not going to happen. Okay. So every job posting answers 4 questions for you. Likewise, when a hiring manager gets your resume, they are looking to have 3 questions answered from you, right? And if your resume does not show them these 3 answers, they will not call you. Okay? Every hiring manager, they want to know the same thing. These are the three things they want to know. Okay, we're at 6,600. Keep tapping the screen. We have 187 people in the room. And if 187 people tap the screen for 15 seconds, we'll be at 10 to 12,000. It just spreads the live over the platform. Okay. So, what are those three things that every hiring manager wants to know? Number one, when you apply to a job, and as a recruiter, if I get your application or a hiring manager sees your resume, they want to know, what does this person do? And I'm going to tell you how I know this in just a second. What does this person do? Okay. I don't want to waste my time if this person does not do what I need someone to do professionally. Okay. The second thing they want to know is, okay, I see what they do. How long have they done it? Now, why is that important? See, we put candidates in three categories: entry level, mid level, or senior level. Okay. Entry level to us is a person who has 0 to 4 years experience. That means to us, you need training. Okay. So if we're going to hire you, we know that we're going to need to train you. Okay. The second level of individual is a person who has 5 to 9 years of experience. You're what we consider to be a mid-level experienced professional. You don't need a lot of training. You'll need some, very little, but you won't need a lot. Okay. So that's what we consider mid-level. Now, if you have 10 or more years experience, we consider you to be senior level and you need no training at all. Okay. We are saying if we hire you at 10 years and above, we can hand the whole thing to you, the whole job to you, tell you what we want to happen, and you can make that happen. That's how hiring managers think. That's how recruiters think. In fact, when I talk to hiring managers and I am recruiting for those managers, I ask, what level of expertise do you want? And I don't allow them to be vague. We're at 10,000. Keep going. We have 246 people in the room. If you just tap the screen for 20 seconds, we'll be at 20,000. Just 20 seconds and we'll be at 20,000. Okay. So I ask hiring managers, what level of expertise do you want this person to have? Can they be entry level? Do you want them to be mid level? Or do you want them to be senior level? I never allow hiring managers to be vague about that. Right? Because I don't want to spend time with you and have you waste your time interviewing with me, and I submit your information to the hiring manager and they say to me, you don't have enough experience, I don't have time to train. No, we're not dealing with that. So tell me what level of expertise you want this person to have. That's important, right? So I try to get them to tell me that information. Now, let me tell you what I used to do and why I know this is what hiring managers are looking for. So I've been in talent acquisition and recruiting for 35 years. I've interviewed hundreds of thousands of people, 500,000 or more resumes I've taken a look at, right? And this is what I used to do. And it used to make me so upset that I just couldn't stand it. So hiring manager tells me they need to hire someone for a job. Okay. And what I would do is I would interview you. You would send me your resume and I would do an interview with you. And we would go through your resume. You would tell me everything that you do. And I would talk to you about the job. And I would say to myself, oh my goodness, this person is perfect for this job. Now I'm thinking to myself, there's a 100% chance this hiring manager is going to want to interview and hire this person. And then I was submitting your resume to the hiring manager with my notes the same way you submitted the resume to me. And I would get emails back from hiring managers that says, Dan, no, I don't want to interview this person. Now I was saying, what? Hold on, what are you talking about? I just talked to this person. They're perfect. They have everything that you're looking for. What do you mean you don't want to talk to this person? Keep tapping the screen. We're almost at 20,000. So keep tapping the screen. It's 248 people in the room. If we just tap the screen for another 10 seconds, we'll be at 20,000. So why don't you want to talk to this person? And this is what they used to tell me. Listen very closely. They would say, Well, I don't see what I want. I don't see where they do this kind of work. And I said, wait a minute, it's right here. And I would explain to them and show them on your resume everything that you did. And they would still say to me, well, I appreciate that, but no, I don't want to talk to him. So I had to figure out, what are they looking for? Like, what are you telling me? I have a person that's supremely qualified, and you're telling me no because you don't see what they do. You think I'm lying to you as a recruiter. You think I am just talking this person up. And I would show them, and they still say, well, no, just find me someone else. So about 25 years ago, I started doing something completely different. Okay. Now, I'm going to take 100 people. If you want me to review your resume for free and send you a response back today telling you what you need to fix, email me, daniel@dscds.com. Only 100. So daniel@dscds.com. Send me your resume and I'll do a free resume review. Just email me. That's it. daniel@dscds.com. And I will send you a reply. If there's something that needs to be fixed on your resume, I will tell you exactly what to fix on your resume. Okay? Okay, I'll tell you what to do. If you want to do it, you can. If you want me to do it, I'll show you what that looks like as well. But email me, daniel@dscds.com. And I see several of you are already emailing me. So I can take another 93 resumes, 93 people. If you email me, I'll be more than happy to do a free resume review today for you. Okay. So hiring managers telling me I don't want to talk to this person. So I would ask them what they want to see. Right. And so I had to figure out there were 3 things that they wanted to see. So 25 years ago, I started doing this. I would interview you. Right. I would talk to you about the job. Okay. I would see that you are perfect for the job. Keep coming. I see you guys are interviewing me. I can take another 87 resumes. Just keep emailing me. So I'd see you were perfect for the job. And then I would tell you this. Listen, I would say, okay, I am going to rework your resume. Okay, I'm not changing your skill. I'm just going to rework it because I know what the hiring manager wants to see. Now, before I submit your resume, I'm going to send it back to you so you can see what I've done. Is that okay? And you would say, yes, absolutely. And I would do that. I would rework your resume and I would send it back to you, and you would be like, yes, this is perfect. And then I would submit it to the hiring manager. I want you to listen to this. Before I started doing this, 1 to 2 out of every 10 candidates that I submitted for a job, they were getting interviews. 1 to 2 out of every 10 candidates. When I changed how I reworked your resume, 8 out of every 10 candidates that I submitted, the hiring manager said yes. 8 out of every 10. They said, yes, I want to interview this person because I figured out what they wanted to see. Now we're at 21,000. Let's get to 30,000 really quickly. It's 333 people in the room. And if we take 25 seconds right now, 25, and just tap the screen continuously, it'll spread it wider so people can learn how to get jobs faster. Okay. So just do me a favor and just tap the screen as fast as you can while you're listening to me. So I figured out what hiring managers wanted to see. And that changed everything for you, for the hiring manager, and for me. You see, when I was not changing people's resumes, my KPIs looked horrible. Although I was interviewing a lot of people, it looked like I was submitting unqualified people to the hiring manager, not because you were unqualified, but because the hiring manager was saying no. They didn't see what they wanted to see. So when I would do my reporting at the end of every single month, it would show that I submitted a lot of people, but no one got hired. No one got interviewed. And that wasn't good for my KPIs. So I changed it. And once I changed it to show them what you do, how long you've done, how good you are doing. And by how good you are doing, I'm talking about quantifiable evidence, percentages, cost savings, revenue generated, number of widgets created, number of boxes thrown, whatever that number is, amount of revenue that you were responsible for managing, sales that you did, whatever that number is, those numbers and percentages, they are huge on your resume, right? Here's why. Because hiring managers don't read resumes. They just skim and scan, and they're looking for information to tell them that you're qualified. That's it. That's all they're doing. They don't read your resume. Now, you spend all of this time creating this amazing resume, highlighting your skills, experience, education, and background, only to get hiring managers to send you an email saying, I'm not interested. And then they won't call you and tell you why. They won't tell you what's wrong. You know you can do the job. You've been doing the same job for the past 7 years and no one will call you and tell you why. Right? Well, this is why. Because they're not seeing what they want to see the moment they pick up your resume. They're just not seeing it. So I started changing it. So now I never submit a candidate's resume to a hiring manager unless I change it to show the hiring manager those 3 things up front. Okay, that's very important for you to understand. Okay, keep going. We're at 56 resumes. I can take another 44 resumes. Send me an email. If you want me to take a look at your resume and review it for free and tell you what you need to do to fix it, I will tell you. So the 3 things every hiring manager wants to know about you the moment they pick up your resume, this is the first thing they need to see, is what you do, how long you have done it, and how good you are doing it. So I call that your elevator pitch. Mine sounds like this, and this is how it looks on my resume. I am a senior talent acquisition and recruiting leader with 35 years experience hiring 4,000 to 6,000 people in the US for medium and large companies nationally. Right? That's what my captivating headline says. We call it a captivating headline or your elevator pitch. Now, why do I call it an elevator pitch? We're at 31,000. Let's get to 40,000. We have 327 people in the room. Just tap the screen for 25 seconds and we'll be at 40,000 likes, which means more people will see this. The platform will show this to more people. Okay, so you have to make sure that your resume is crafted correctly. Okay? Number 1, it won't go into an applicant tracking system the right way if it's not. These are the 7 sections of your resume that are important, and the first 4 sections are most important. The last 3 we barely look at. First, name, phone number, email address, city and state. We got to know where you are in terms of your city and state, not your home address, because we need to know if we can do business in that state if it's a remote position. The second thing is your elevator pitch or your captivating headline. What you do, how long you've done it, and how good you are doing it. It can't be broad. I can't just say, I'm a recruiter. You can't just say, I'm an accounting specialist or a customer service rep or a registered nurse. You can't just say that because the hiring manager is asking, okay, I see you're a registered nurse, but like, how many patients have you seen? How long you been a registered nurse? Like they want to know specifics, right? Because remember, they have a job they want someone to do. So they're trying to determine based on your resume if you have the experience to do that job. If they don't see it, they're going to they're going to rip it up and throw it in the trash. I'm telling you the truth. Okay. So if you want me to review your resume for free, email it to me, daniel@dscds.com. I can take 39 more resumes, daniel@dscds.com. 39 more resumes. Just email it to me. I will tell you exactly what you need to fix. If it needs to be fixed, I will tell you for free. All right. So your elevator pitch. This is how I explain it. Imagine you are going to the 15th floor of a building. You walk into that elevator and someone hops onto the elevator with you. And they see that you're going to the 15th floor where this company is. And they say, oh, you're going to the 15th floor. Who are you going to see? And you say, well, I have an interview with Tim. And the person says, oh, I'm Tim. I'm the person you're interviewing with. Are you Susie? Yes. Then They're going to ask you, well, good, you're interviewing for this position. Tell me a little bit about what you do. You have 15 seconds, 8 to 10 seconds, I'm sorry, to give them your elevator pitch. This is what I would say. Nice to meet you, Tim. My name is Daniel, and I am a senior talent acquisition and recruiting leader with 35 years experience hiring 4 to 6,000 people for medium and large companies in the US. That's what you need to know about me. Okay? If you can't do that, right? You're not going to get the job. You're not going to get interviewed. You're not going to get to the interview phase. It's not going to happen. So it's important that you understand that that's what hiring managers want to see, which is why it needs to be the first thing they see on your resume. Now, once you have shown them that what you do, how long you've done it, and how good you are doing it, then you want to do what we call a summary of accomplishments. 10 bullets highlighting the top 10 things you've done in your career. Quantifiable things. For me, managed 23 recruiters in 7 states, hired 6,000 people 5 years in a row for the largest customer service call center in the country, built a customer service call center for one of the largest telecommunication companies, 600 employees in 4 months, right? You need to have a list of your top accomplishments in your career that relate to how good you are doing it. And then the next thing after that is your areas of expertise. That's things that you can do with your eyes so good. You can do it so good, you can do it with your eyes closed and your hands tied behind your back. Okay? If your resume is crafted like that, there is a 99.9999% chance you are going to get a call for an initial screen or hiring manager interview. If it is not crafted in that way, 9 times out of 10, no one's going to call you. And you can apply to as many jobs as you want. It ain't going to change. I talk to clients every day that have this problem. It's not going to change. It's not. You can either see if your resume is created that way and make it happen that way, or you can keep trying to use this exact same resume and nobody's going to call you and you won't get a job. It's not going to happen for you. And I don't care who you are. I had a meeting last week with a guy who was a C-suite executive for the Department of Transportation on assignment in the Ukraine. His contract ended last March of 2025 because the new administration decided not to fund it. 30 years experience, C-suite executive for the federal government, and he can't get an interview. And I told him why. I said, man, listen, I see what you've done. I mean, I hear what you say you've done, but nobody sees that. So nobody's going to call you. They're not. As good as you are, as experienced as you are, they're not going to call you because they don't know you from a pebble on the ground. So it's just not going to happen. Okay. So if you want me to review your resume, right, to see if it's something that hiring managers will say, yes, I need to call this person like right now, right? Send it to me, email it to me. The first 100 people who send me their resume, I will review it for free. I can take another 22 resumes. So email me your resume, daniel@dscds.com. I'll take a look at it for free. Send your response today. Okay? So your resume is important. It needs to be crafted in a way that attracts the attention of hiring managers and recruiters. And what gets the attention of hiring managers and recruiters is if they see what they want to see, not what you want to show them. Okay, so we're at 40,000. Let's get to 50,000. It's 260 people in the room. Take 25 seconds right now because I'm about to talk about how you can find thousands of jobs to apply to in seconds on LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, and Indeed.com. Let's get to 40,000. If you just take 25 seconds to tap the screen as quickly as you can, it'll get there. So check it out. I'm going to show you, like I get clients that come to me all the time and say, man, there just ain't no jobs open. Nobody's hiring. And I say, what are you talking about? Right? As a recruiter, I want you to find jobs that I post. Okay? Because again, it helps my KPI. The more people apply to the jobs that I post, the better I look, the bigger my bonus at the end of the year. Actually, I get a bonus based on a percentage of my salary, but I get to get my KPI at the end of the year. So I want to make sure the maximum number of people are applying to every job that I post. What is that number? 200. Okay. Now, if it's an executive position, it's going to be about 60 or 50 or 60, but 200 people minimum I want applying to my jobs because that's overperforming. That's way over what's needed, right? If I do that consistently for every job that I post, then I'm rocking it out. Okay, so if I want you to apply for my job and there are jobs posted, why can't you find the jobs? I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why so many people come to me and say, man, there are just not any jobs open. Keep going. We're at 43.5. I want us to get to 50,000 in the next 20 seconds. So tap, 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 tap. Everybody, please tap the screen so it spreads it wide throughout the platform, right? And lets everybody know this live is going on. I'm going to help them find a job, interview for a job, and land a high paying job, a job making them more money than they usually would make. Because I'm going to show you at the end how you can get 2 to 10,000. A hiring manager will gladly give you $2 to $10,000 from every written job offer you get. And I'm going to show you how to send one simple email to do that. I do it every single day. Okay? Every day. I know it works. I've been doing it for 19 years, almost 20 years. Same thing. I'm going to tell you why I do it and why it works. Okay. So keep tapping the screen. We're at 45.5, almost at 50,000. Keep going. I want us to get to 50,000. Okay. So job boards, LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, Indeed.com. They're the biggest job boards on the planet. And most of the jobs are on those three platforms. The problem that you have, the problem that most candidates have is they don't know how to search for the maximum amount of jobs. You know how to apply for the most part to jobs, but how do you find the maximum amount of jobs? Keep going. We're at 46.9. Keep tapping the screen. I want us to get to 50,000. So here's the problem that candidates have. This is what you are doing that you should stop doing right now. In fact, you could pick up your phone and you could do it right now when I tell you, and you'll see the difference right now. Or you can wait until this live is over and go to your computer, right? And you could do this right now, and you're going to see there are tens of thousands of more jobs that you will find than you found before. Okay, so how do the job boards search work? Okay, whenever I'm trying to find a candidate for a job and I go to LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, or Indeed.com, and I am trying to find you, okay, what I put in the search bar is not the job title. I don't put in the job title of my job, and I don't put in the job title of a job that you have had. We don't put in the job title. Okay? When you are searching for a job, most candidates search based on their past job title. That doesn't work. Let me tell you why. Because when you put in your job title, we call that a narrow search. You're telling LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, and Indeed.com, we're at 50,000. Thank you guys so much. Just keep tapping the screen. Let's get to 60,000. There's 264 people in the room. Let's get to 60,000 so I can get you guys these jobs, okay? Show you how to find jobs. So we don't search by job titles, but you search for jobs by job titles, right? You put in your last job title or your last two job titles to try to find a job. But when you do that, you're telling ZipRecruiter, LinkedIn, and Indeed.com, find me any jobs posted on your site with this job title. And the search is going to be very narrow. So if I put in senior talent acquisition manager or director or VP of talent acquisition, something like that, it's going to come back with very few results. Okay? That's not how you're supposed to search. No one's going to tell you this. No one will tell you what I just told you about your resume, and no one's going to tell you about how to search the right way. This is how you're supposed to search. Okay? Had a guy last week who is a client of mine. I was doing a one-on-one coaching session, and his challenge was, I have been out of work for 6 months and I can't find a job. I've only had 3 interviews in the last 6 months, and I've been able to apply to X amount of jobs per day. I said, that's not going to cut it. I said, my man, you got 27 years experience as a senior sales manager, and it's going to take you 2 years before you find a job. I hope you have enough money saved up, right? I said, I'm going to change everything for you. So we did a share screen. We shared our screens. And I said, I want you to go to LinkedIn and I want you to show me how you're searching. So he put in the search bar his job title. Okay. It's an open search. So the only thing he did is put in his job title. We didn't put city. We didn't put state. We didn't put level of experience, pay. We didn't do none of that. It came back with 5,000 open jobs. Now, some of those jobs are not even open. They're closed, right? Because they're older than 30 days. And companies just haven't taken them down, or the job board hadn't closed them. We have 53,700. I want to get to 60,000. We have 237 people in the room. If you just click the screen, we'll get to 60,000 in the next 12, 15 seconds. Okay, so I said, now that you've done your search and we see what your result is, I'm going to have you change the search. Here's what I want you to do. I had him take out a couple of words, and I said, I only want you to put in there one keyword that is the main function of the job you do. And that main function was sales. So when he put in sales only, he went from 5,300 results. We ended up with 443,000 job openings. 443,000. The same open search that he did, I was able to find 443,000. He was only able to find 5,000. Why is that? I told him, when you put in the main function of the job, sales, that one word, you're telling ZipRecruiter, LinkedIn, and Indeed.com, if the job posting has this word in the title or the job description, show it to me. Okay. Now you could filter it by a bunch of other things, and I'm going to have you guys do that right now, and I'm going to tell you what to type into the search section for yourself. But because you did that, it returned all of these different results. Okay. And then we started filtering it by jobs that have been posted within the last 30 days, jobs that are senior level, and positions that only pay $120,000 or more. And it broke it down from 400,000 all the way down to 43,000 jobs. So he had 43,000 jobs that he could apply to that have been posted within the last 30 days, paying $120,000 or more, that was remote, hybrid, or local. So needless to say, it blew his mind. I said, no one tells you how these job boards work. I am a master at job boards. I've been working with them since 1996. When Monster.com, Career Builder, and all those guys came on the scene, I was the guy that was managing the back end of those at the companies that I was working for. And we used to do searches on Career Builder for job function and get 4,000 candidates that came back, and we would blast you all with an email, and we would get 40 hires in 2 days, right? That's how we used to do it. So you are still searching based on your previous job title. It doesn't work that way. Please don't do that. Search based on the job function. Now let's prove it out. I want you to put in the chat your title, whatever your job title is, and I'm going to tell you the function that you need to put in LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, or Indeed.com to get tens of thousands of jobs. Talent acquisition, you just put recruiting. That's it. Don't put anything else other than recruiting. Property management, just put property manager. And here's what you're going to do. You're going to put property and then in quotations, you're going to put management or manager, right? Project manager, you're going to put project manager. User, you put supervisor. It has to be more than just supervisor. Business system analyst, you're going to put business and analyst. Analyst in quotation, business and analyst. Math teacher, you put teacher, right? Customer service, you put customer service. Provider enrollment specialist, you're going to put enrollment specialist or provider and enrollment. Okay, that's what you're going to do. Ashley, you're going to put recruiter only. Customer success manager, you're going to put customer success. That's it. And you can filter it by level of expertise. Delivery driver, you're just going to put driver. Account executive, you're going to put account executive or account and executive. Dispatcher, you're going to put dispatcher. Employment specialist, you're going to put human resources, HR, employment and specialist. Network administrator, you're going to put network and, in quotations, administrator. Clinical research coordinator, you're going to put clinical and research. That's all you're going to put. That's it. Okay. Lineman, you're going to put lineman. Okay. Medical interpreter, you're going to put interpreter only. Restaurant server, you're just going to put server. Leading training and development person, you're going to put training. And you can put training and director. Okay. That's how you do it. Now, when you put training and then in quotation director, you are saying to LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, and Indeed.com, find me jobs that have on the job in the description or in the title, training and director. See, that combination tells you that this job is closer. But if you put training director, you're saying find jobs that only have those two words together. And it just doesn't work well when you do that. Okay? So that's how you are going to find thousands of jobs. Curriculum designer, curriculum. That's it. Front office specialist, front office assistant. You're going to put admin assistant, front office, office, and assistant. That's all you're going to put. And it's going to send you back thousands of jobs that you can apply to. And then you can just click easy apply, one click apply, or quick apply, right? The easy apply application takes 21 seconds max to fill out. So you could literally apply to 30 jobs in 10 minutes. 30. If you did that on LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, and Indeed.com, you would apply to 90 jobs a day. And if you did that 7 days a week, it will be 630 jobs that you apply to. That's like marketing yourself, introducing yourself to 630 hiring managers a week. Who wouldn't get a job if your resume was the way it was supposed to be? Of course you would. That's the missing link. That's what you are not doing, and that's what no one is telling you. We want you to apply to our jobs. But if nobody tells you how to find us, how are you going to apply? So I'm telling you, that's how you do it. All right. So I can take another 19 resumes. Send me a copy of your resume for a free review. I'll review your resume for free, tell you what you need to fix, right? I'll tell you exactly what to do, it's missing and what you need to fix. And you can either fix it yourself or you can have me do it. I'll be more than happy to do it for you as well. Okay. All right. So that's how you find jobs. Now, let's say you find jobs, your resume is squared away, you find jobs, and now you get interviews. Okay. Please don't blow it. Most candidates blow it in interviews because they talk too much or they say the wrong things. They hear a question that they think is the question, but it's not. So I'm going to tell you what the job interview is not about. I'm going to tell you what the interview is actually about. And I'm going to tell you the 6 to 8 questions every hiring manager is going to ask you. I'm going to tell you why they ask those questions and how to answer it. At the end, I'm going to open it up for questions and answers after I finish this. And you can ask me any question that you want. I don't care. Okay, so we're at 62,000. There's 240 people in the room. I want us to take 25 seconds. Tap, 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 tap. Let's get to 70,000 really quickly. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about interviewing. What is the job interview all about? Tap the screen so we can get to 70,000 likes. It just spreads it out through the platform even more to let people know that we're here helping people get jobs. All right. So, what is the job interview not about? Okay. Listen to me very carefully. Keep tapping the screen. We're at 63.8, 64,000. Keep going. The job interview, when you get a hiring manager interview, it's not about your skill, experience, education, and background. So stop talking to the hiring manager about the jobs you did before. It's not about that. See, we have your resume. We looked at it. We know where you worked. We know what you did. We know what we want someone to do. And we believe, based on this paper, based on your resume, we believe you could do the job we want someone to do. So talking about your previous experience to a hiring manager is a waste of time. And it makes you less attractive because you're not telling them what they really want to hear. They don't want to hear about your previous job. They don't want to hear about all of the awards you got from your previous job and the things that you've done. They don't want to hear that. But so most candidates, when they say, tell me about yourself, right? When they ask you that interview question, they go down this rabbit hole talking about all of the things that they've done in the past. You have lost the job at that moment. It's over. You might as well get up and walk out because it's over. When they say, tell me about yourself, they're not saying, tell me about your previous experience. That's not what they're asking. They're asking something completely different. I'm going to tell you what that is in just a second. So the job interview is not about you telling me and proving to me that you have the experience to do the job. I already know you can do the job. That matter is settled. Stop talking about your previous job. I'm not interested in that. I already know you can do it. That's the reason why you're sitting here now. We're at 68,700. Keep tapping the screen. Let's get to 70,000. We're almost there. All right. So if telling the hiring manager about my previous experience is not what the interview is all about, well then what is the interview all about? Okay, so here's what the interview is all about. Keep tapping the screen. We're almost at 70,000. This is what the actual interview is about. Okay, don't ever forget this. You see, when we have your resume, we know about you as a professional. We know about you. We're at 69.9, almost 70,000. Keep tapping the screen. We're at 70,000. That's awesome. Keep going. Let's get to 75,000. Okay, so we know about you. I know that you've done this work before. I know how long you've done it. I know who you've done it for, who you did it for. I know it. I can see it. I'm looking at it. Okay, so we don't talk about that. All right? But one of the things I tell clients is we know about you, but we don't know you. I'm talking about you as a professional, your character, who you are at your core, right? See, what a hiring manager is thinking is, I have this job that is important to the company. And I need to hire somebody to give this job to. How do I determine the person I'm going to select? There's 3 things they need to know about you. And when they interview you, this is what they're trying to find out. It's not about your work history. Okay? It's not about your work history. We're at 71.5. Let's get to 75,000. Just listen and keep tapping the screen. So what are they trying to find out? 3 things. 1, are you someone who is dependable? Okay? Someone they can count on to get the job done. Okay? Number 2, are you reliable? Are you someone that I know will meet the required expectations of the job, technical or not? Okay? And then the third thing they want to know is, are you trustworthy? Can I count on you to act with honesty and integrity in both your intentions and your actions? See, when we ask you interview questions, that's what we're really trying to find out. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, when a man talks, or as a man thinks, so is he. Or in other words, out of the abundance of the mouth, the heart, out of the abundance of the heart, the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. That scripture simply really means when you talk, you're telling us what you're thinking, right? And if I can understand how you think, I can predict how you're going to act. So hiring managers know the work you've done, but they don't know how you're going to act on their team. Are you going to be dependable, reliable, and trustworthy? Right? I'm about to give you this job. Are you someone I can count on? Okay, so they ask you interview questions to find that out. Now, here's the deal. Hiring managers will ask you 3 non-behavior based questions. They're trying to see if you can relate to what it is they got going on. And the second 3 questions they're going to ask you are behavior based questions. Now, I'm going to tell you how to answer behavior based questions in a way using the STAR interview answer framework that, all right? So I want you to listen to me. So let's talk about the 3 non-behavior based questions that you are going to get 100% of the time. 3 non-behavior based questions. So you get into the interview, you sit down. Hiring manager says to you, "Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. Tell me about yourself." Now, most of you and most candidates will start talking about, well, I'm a senior talent acquisition recruiting leader. I have 35 years experience. I've worked here, I've worked there, I've done this, I've done that. I'm passionate about this, I'm passionate about that. And the hiring manager's over there saying, "Oh my gosh, I cannot believe this person is not answering my question." And the more you keep talking in that manner, the less they like you. Because you are not showing them that you're trustworthy, reliable, and dependable with your response. I'm going to tell you how you should respond. Okay. You see, if you start telling them all about your skill, experience, education, and background, they know that. But remember, we talked about dependability, reliability, and trustworthiness. So I'm going to tell you how you do it. If you answer like this 100% of the time, you will always look amazing to the hiring manager. So I want you to type in the chat your 4 biggest professional character traits: honesty, loyal, committed, total team player, hard worker. Whatever those 4 character traits are, I want you to write them in the chat. Okay? Your 4 character traits. Mine are: I'm a hardworking, committed team leader who values team success far above individual success. Okay. So Sarah says dependability, empathy, hard work, authenticity. I'm sorry. Coach Rob says integrity, strategic, collaborative, and a team leader. Okay. That's what he's saying, right? So write your 4 professional character traits. 5 says honesty, team player, hard worker, dependable. And then I want you to add this to it. And I am someone you will never have to worry about whether the job is going to get done. So it would sound something like this for Tony. I'm an honest, hardworking, professional team player, and I am someone you will never have to worry about whether the job is going to get done. San says, I'm a hardworking, committed, reliable, dependable professional who you will never have to worry about whether the job is going to get done. And Brown says, I'm a very empathetic, passionate, collaborative, dependable professional, and I am someone you will never, ever have to worry about whether the job gets done. Dwayne says, Super says, I'm a creative worker, team player, reliable, and I pay attention to detail, and I'm someone you will never have to worry about whether the job gets done or not. Kim says, I'm resourceful, I'm a collaborator, I'm reliable, I'm diplomatic, and I am someone you will never, ever have to worry about whether the job gets done or not. Okay. Neek says, I'm a committed, hardworking team player who is honest and reliable, and you will never, ever have to worry about whether the job is going to get done if I'm hired. That's how you answer, tell me about yourself. Tell me about your greatest character traits and your character. That's what hiring managers are asking. Interviewed a lady last May, true story. Her name is Debbie, for an HR director position. I asked her this question and it took her, true story, 18 minutes to answer this question. I never asked her another question. She had the nerve to call me back the next week and say, "Hey, Dan, how are you doing? Had a great time in our interview. I enjoyed it. I wanted to see what the next steps were." I said, "Debbie, listen to me. I am sure what I'm about to tell you, no one has ever told you." I said, I'm not moving you on in the process. I said, when I ask you, tell me about yourself, it took you 18 minutes to answer it. 18. And you told me about your knitting and your plants and the food you like and the places you like. You told me about it ain't have nothing to do with the job. Nothing to do about your professional character. I didn't learn nothing about you, right? That helps me to want to move you forward with the hiring manager. Now, and I told her, I said, I cannot, as a senior leader, a director, I cannot submit you to interview with the CEO, the CFO, and the COO. Because if you walk into that interview and you answer their questions like you just answered mine, they're going to call me to their office and tell me to bring a box so I can put my stuff in it. And they're going to fire me because they're going to say, why would you waste our time having us interview someone like this? Right? Someone who is not clear in their thinking and concise in their communication. Concise in their thinking, clear in their communication. Why would you do that? So I didn't submit her. I didn't. So I said, I hope this helps you. When somebody asks you that question, they're not asking you to tell them about your personal life. It's not what they're asking. So stop saying that. Okay, we're at 75,200. I want us to get to 80,000 in the next 20 seconds. There's 277 people in the room. And if every single one of us tap the screen 30 times, 40 times, we'll get to 85,000 really quickly. That's it, 30 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Just really quickly like that. We'll be at 85,000 in a blink of an eye. It takes us about 12 to 15 seconds. It's 76,000. Okay, so what are the 3 non-behavior based questions that you're going to be asked? And I'm going to tell you the 3 behavior based questions you're going to be asked, why they ask them, and how you should answer them. Keep tapping the screen. We're at 78.6, 78.7. Keep going. I want to get it to 85,000. Watch that ticker. Listen to me. Let's get to 85,000. So check this out. When a hiring manager asks you, tell me about yourself, you give your 4 character traits and then you say, and I'm someone you never have to worry about whether the job is going to get done or not. That's the only answer. You sit back. The next question they're going to ask you is 1 or 2 questions, and that is, if you're working, why are you looking to leave your current job? See, we know you're working. We can see it. Why are you looking to leave your current job? Or if you're not working, they're going to ask you, why did you leave your last job? Let's deal with that. If you are not working, you simply say, I was laid off. I don't care what the reason was. You could have quit. They could have terminated you. It could have been an acquisition or a merger. It could be a reduction in force. It doesn't matter. Just say I was laid off. That means a lot of different things. We know that. Okay. If you are currently working and you want to get away from your current company, your response should always be 100% of the time, I am looking to leave my company because my goals and values, they don't align with this company anymore. I do believe they align better with this company, which is why I want to work here. Okay. If you want me to review your resume for free and do a free resume review, send it back to you today and tell you what you need to fix. Email me. I'm going to open it up and take another 40 resumes. Just email it to me today. I'll be more than happy. Right now, I'll be more than happy to take a look at your resume and respond to it. So I'm going to open it up for another 40 because we have 100. I'll have time today for another 40 on top of that. Okay, check it out. So if they ask you, why you want to work for this company, you simply say, I'm sorry, why are you leaving your current company? You simply say, my goals and values, they don't align anymore with this company. I believe they align more with here. Now, the next question they're going to ask you is, okay, what do you know about us? Or why do you want to work here? They're going to ask you one of those two questions. What do you know about us? I ask this question 100% of the time. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find out if you did your research or not. Like, why would you want to come to a place that you know nothing about? Okay. So when I ask that question, or when a hiring manager asks that question, it's real simple. You go to the company's website before the interview, and you're going to find their vision, mission, and core values, when they were founded, when the company started, their core product, and the customers that they serve. And you're just going to restate that. That's all. This is your vision, your mission, your core values. This is when you guys were founded. This is the product that you offer. And this is your core customer. Okay. Now, if they ask you this question, well, I see you worked over here. Why do you want to work here? This is how you answer it 100% of the time. You simply say, well, you guys are the best and I want to work for the best. That's how you answer it 100% of the time. Do not answer it any other way. Okay. So those are 3 non-behavior based questions that you're going to get almost 100% of the time. And then they're going to ask you 3 behavior based questions. Now, listen to me. The reason why we ask behavior based questions is because we are looking to see how you will respond if you're dealing with challenging people, challenging problems in the organization, and challenging processes. Okay? People, problem, and processes. You are going to use the STAR interview answer framework. Now I want you to tap the screen. Let's get to 90,000. I'm going to tell you how to use the STAR interview answer framework like no one else on the planet has ever told you how to use it. Tap the screen. It's 297 of us in here. If we just tap the screen 30 times each, we'll get to 95,000. Just really quickly, 30 times each. It takes about 15 seconds to tap the screen 30 times. 15 seconds, just tap the screen. So this is how you answer behavior-based questions. You're going to use the STAR interview answer framework. STAR stands for, write this in the chat, somebody: situation, task, action, result. Keep going on again. Situation, task, action, result. I'm going to say it one more time. Situation, task, action, result. But this is how you use it. Okay? Don't try to go off the top of your head. Don't do that. So this is what you do. So they're going to ask you a question, and you're going to call out each acronym before you give a response. Listen to me. This is going to stop you from going down a rabbit hole. So they're going to say, talk to me about a time you had to deal with a difficult customer, client, coworker, manager, whatever. Talk to me about a time you had to deal with a difficult customer. What was the situation and how did you resolve that situation? Right? They're trying to see how you will respond. This is how you do it. You say, okay, the situation was, had a customer who came to the store with a return. They purchased something they weren't happy with. The task was for me to find out why they were not happy. Wrong color, wrong size, wrong whatever. It ended up being the wrong size. The action I took was to ask them if they wanted a refund, if they wanted to do an even exchange to find something that fit them better. And the result was we gave them a refund because we didn't have it in stock, and the customer went away happy, saying they'll return and continue to work with us. Okay? That's how you answer it. You need to answer non-behavior-based questions in 15 seconds or less, or behavior-based questions in 45 seconds to 60 seconds or less, because it shows the hiring manager that you are a clear thinker and that you're concise in your communication. Okay? You don't want to go down rabbit holes. You become less and less attractive. Now, that's how you answer behavior-based questions. You've got to use the STAR interview answer framework in that way. Now, if you are a leader, you're going to get 2 additional questions. 2. One is, what is your leadership style? What is your leadership style? Okay? I always say answer it like this. You can pick one leadership style or a character of a leader that's fine. I say, well, if I were to define my style, it's all about accountability. I hold myself accountable and to a high standard, and I hold my team accountable, and I hold them to a high standard. So my style would be, I'm all about accountability. Okay, that's how I would answer it. You could pick one thing for yourself, and then you can do the same thing. And the last question they're going to ask you as a leader is this: how do you handle team members that report to you who consistently underperform? They're going to ask you that question, right? Now, listen, don't get fancy. Please don't get fancy. We're at 92,600. I want us to get to 100,000. It's 371 of us in the room. If every single one of us tap the screen right now for 10 seconds straight, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Just keep tapping the screen. 5, 4. We'll get to 100,000 pretty quickly. 3, keep going. 2, keep going. All right, you guys are doing great. Keep tapping the screen. So this is how you answer if you're a leader and you have a person on your team that's consistently underperforming, right? How do you handle that? Now, the tendency is for you to go back into your experience base and tell the manager about how you did it before. Don't do that. Don't do that. Please don't do that. This is how you answer it 100% of the time. We're at 99,700, 99,700, 99,800. Let's get to 100,000. We're almost there. 100,000. Keep going, guys. Let's get to 110,000. You guys are awesome. This is how you answer it. You say, this is all you say: I will follow the progressive disciplinary policy of the company. That's all you answer it. I will follow the progressive disciplinary policy of the company. Verbal, second warning is written, third and final, termination. Every HR pro knows that. Every hiring manager wants to hear that. They don't want you to tell them about your fancy way that you've trained somebody and got them back on track. That's not what they want to hear. Because we know that there's somebody on the team that you're about to inherit. They have consistently not met expectations, and the person in the role before did not have the guts to get that person out. Okay? It's important for you to understand that. All right, we're at 101,000. Let's get to 110,000. There's 445 people in the room. If all of us took 10 seconds, 15 seconds right now, we get to 115,000. So ready, go. Let's 15 seconds, 15, 14. Let's keep going until we get to 15,000. I'm about to tell you how from every single job offer that you ever get, I'm going to show you how to get $2,000 to $10,000. The hiring manager will gladly give you $2,000 to $10,000 more for every written offer that you get. $2,000 to $10,000 more 100% of the time. I'm going to explain to you why it works. I'm going to tell you how I do it every single day and how I get people $2,000 to $10,000 more for every single job they get a written job offer for. We're at 105,000, 425 people in the room. Just keep tapping the screen. Okay, so how do we determine pay in organizations? Okay, we determine pay one of two ways. Way number one is, how complex is this job? Is it technical? Is it not technical? How much of the work do we need someone to do in terms of volume, right? That's how we determine pay. So whenever you are going to do a job, you need to understand if this is technical in nature, if it's volume in nature, and that helps you determine how your value fits into that organization. That's how we determine pay. So if you worked for a large global company before and now you're going to go work for a mom and pop shop, the pay is not going to be the same. The technical nature of the job may be the same, but the volume is different. You're not going to get the same. So don't go in there trying to get global money from a mom and pop shop. I'm just letting you know that's how it works. Okay. So now that we know how pay works, I'm going to tell you how I do it. Okay. Keep going. We're at 107,000, 400 of us in the room right now. Just keep tapping the screen till we get to 115,000. All you got to do is tap it 30 times. Everybody, if you tap it 30 times in 10 seconds, right, we'll get to 115,000. So check this out. Whenever a hiring manager interviews you and they're like, oh my God, I really like this person. Oh, I like this person. They run back to my office and say, Dan, I want to make this person an offer. Thank you so much for giving this person. I want to make this person an offer. Do you think they'll accept? I say, I'll call this person and I'll find out. So I call you and I say, okay, hey, how was the interview? You tell me, oh, it was great. I would say, well, tell me, what are your thoughts? You tell me, and then I'll say to you, okay, If we made you an offer right now, is this something that you were ready to accept? And you say yes. And I'll say, great, because the hiring manager just left my office and they want to make you an offer. Okay. Now, then I set it up like this. I say, okay, let's say the position paid 90 to 100,000, right? And let's say I told the hiring manager this person wants 95 because me and that person worked it out. I would say this to you. Okay, so you told me you wanted 95, and that's what I told the hiring manager. But now I'm going to tell the hiring manager you want 98. Okay? And then I say to you, if we offered you 98, would you take it? Of course you would. Listen, that's a rhetorical question. I know you would take it. Okay? And there's a reason why I do this, and it's a selfish reason. I'm being honest with you. I'm telling you the truth. I'm being selfish when I do this. All right, let me tell you why. I want it to be a win-win for everybody. So you tell me, yes, I would take 98. So I go to the hiring manager and I say, hey, I talked to this person. Man, they're very excited. They are interested in the job, but they were asking if we're able to go to 98. Is that something we can do? Well, the hiring manager, if they have the power to make the decision, they're going to tell me yes right there on the spot. I'm going to tell you why in just a second. They'll tell me yes. If they have to go to their manager, they'll go to their manager and explain, hey, I got this guy. I think I found him. They want 98. Can we do 98? The hiring manager's manager would say, okay, do you think they're worth it? The hiring manager would say yes, and they will come back to me and say, yes, we can do 98. Okay, so I just got you $3,000 more than what you originally thought you were going to get. So you're happy. The hiring manager is happy because you're getting less than what the max was. Okay, I'm happy because we got another hire and it makes my KPI look good. It's a win-win-win situation. So how can you do this for yourself? It's 350 of us in the room. Tap the screen. I'm about to tell you how you can send one email and get $2,000 to $10,000 more from every written job offer that you do. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. You're going to get an offer, a written offer. It's going to come to your email address. You're going to wait. Step one, you're going to wait 24 hours before you respond. I don't care if it's the most money you've ever made in your life. You're going to wait 24 hours. Okay. Standard time for offers is 3 days. We're going to sit on our hands for 3 days anyway. Okay. So you're going to wait 24 hours. After 24 hours, you're going to send an email back. Somebody type this in the chat. This is what your email is going to say. It needs to say exactly this. Thank you for this offer. I am very excited to get started with the team. I was wondering if the company is able to go to new number, whatever that new number is, 2 to 5% more than what they offered. I was wondering if the company's able to go to 98,000. I was wondering if the company's able to go to 132,000, whatever that number is. Thank you very much. I look forward to getting started with the team. Now, you don't want to tell them I want 98,000 because nobody cares about that. They don't care anything about you anyway, right? So you're not telling them that you want it because you got to drive a little further, you got to get up a little earlier, we're working remote and this is not remote. Nobody cares about that. If you start saying that, it's over for you. So you just want to say, I was wondering if the company is able to go to, not can afford, will pay me. You say, I was wondering if it's softer. I was wondering if the company is able to go to 98. Thank you very much. I cannot wait to get started. That's how you send that email. 99.999% of the time, they're going to give you exactly what you asked for. Now, if it's the max, they may give you half of it or something like that, but you're going to get more than what you're originally. Now, let me explain to you what it is. $1 more per hour on your salary is $2,080 a year for a company. $2 more is $4,200. $3 more is $6,300. It's nothing. We know that. We know it's nothing. But imagine if you got an additional $6,000 I got $10,000 more, 10,000 more over the max for my job, 10 grand, right? Now, why do they do that? You see, when we interview you and we pick you, we're saying to ourselves, oh my goodness, this person's about to turn it on. They're about to make my life easier. They're emotionally and mentally invested in you, and they don't want to pick somebody else. They have made their mind that you are the one. So they're going to say yes because they don't want to have to go back through the same process. So they say yes. It's easier for them to say yes to an additional $2,000 to $10,000 than it would be for them to say, "Nah, we'll just go find somebody else." That's why you do it that way. Okay, and you're going to get it 99.999% of the time. Now, if you want me to review your resume for free and tell me what you need to fit and want me to tell you what you need to fix on it so you get more job interviews, email it to me. I'm going to take another 23 resumes and that's it. 23 resumes that I can review for free today. Review for free. So email me your resume right now. We're at 116,000. That's great. Now I'm going to recap and I'm going to open it up for questions and answers, and you can ask me any question you want. I don't care. I'll be more than happy to answer it for you. We talked about resumes, what resumes are not about and what resumes are about and what hiring managers want to see. Okay, we talked about that. We talked about job searching. Don't search for jobs based on your job title. Search for jobs based on the main job function of your work. That's going to give you tens of thousands of more jobs to apply to, and that's going to give you more opportunity to get yourself in front of hiring managers. Third thing we talked about is interviewing, what the job interview is really all about and what it's not about. It's not about you talking about your skill experience, education, and background. We already know that. We got your resume. Stop talking about that. Don't even say it. We know that. But hiring managers are trying to see if they can trust you, depend on you, and rely on you. So they're going to ask you 3 non-behavior based questions to determine that, and 3 behavior based questions to determine that. Okay. And then we talked about how you can get $2,000 to $10,000 back from every written job offer you get for the rest of your career. Right? That's what we just talked about. If you follow what it is I just shared, it's going to be game over for everybody else. You're going to make more money than you ever made in your life. You're going to be happier. You're going to be able to take care of yourself and your family. You're going to be able to do the jobs that you want to do, not just take any old job. That's not how you should be living your life. I give you this information because I have helped thousands of people get jobs as a recruiter, as a senior talent acquisition recruiter, leader, managing teams, hiring people at every imaginable level. And now I coach a bunch of people doing the exact same thing. So this is not something that I dream. I know this works. This is what I've been doing for 35 years. Okay. So if you have a question, leave it in the comment section and I'll be more than happy to answer that question for you. If you have a question, leave it in the comment section. So Christina says, can you tell me about a time you went above and beyond to complete a project? I'm going to tell you how to answer that, Christina, right? You can use the behavior based, the STAR method to do that. But you always start this question off by saying, I go above and beyond for every project that I do. And then you tell them, this is a situation. I had a project that had to do X. My task was to do X. The action I took was this, and the result was we finished the project on time. Okay. Now, why are they asking you if you've gone if to go above and beyond? Here's why. Because usually they have more work than you can actually handle. That's why we're asking it, and we want to know if you're willing to go above and beyond. Okay. Diane says, "Thank you. I'm following you for all this good information." You're very welcome. I appreciate it. Janine said, I want to get back to Janine and see what Janine said. Okay. Let me see here real quick. If you have a question, leave it in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer that question for you. I want to answer it for you. Okay. Can you repeat the response? Day, I don't know which response you're talking about. I'm sorry I said so much stuff. Okay. All right. So if you have a question, leave it in the comment section. My email address, Kim says, what is your email address? My email address is right here. It's daniel@dscds.com. Daniel@dscds.com. You can't see the email address. I'm going to make sure I put it up in this black line before. Can you tell me about a time you went above and beyond? We asked that. Where do you search? Example, Indeed. The three largest job boards on the planet are Indeed, LinkedIn, Indeed, and ZipRecruiter. You should be searching on all of those jobs and applying to a minimum of 30 jobs per day on each one of those job boards. You should be applying to them. It takes you 10 minutes to apply to 30 jobs if you do it the way that I do it. Diane says, thank you. I'm following you. Janine says, this was extremely informative and helpful. Thank you. You're welcome. Kay says, my email address is correct, daniel@dscds.com. It's also in my profile. Transitioning from admin to cyber, 17 years experience, enter a senior resume. Okay, so if you have 17 years of experience in cybersecurity, senior, if you have 17 years experience in admin and you're transitioning to cybersecurity, entry level. Okay, Sarah, I hope that answers your question. Thank you guys so much for asking the questions. Will this work for a part-time job? Yes. In my current role, I hire both part-time and full-time. So yes, this works exactly the same way. When hiring managers are interviewing you for part-time or full-time, they don't care. It's just half the hours. Okay. That's it. It's the same exact thing. Do you have any insight regarding if you're a professor or retired? This works for people who are professors, and if you're retired and you want to get back into the workforce, it's the exact same thing. If you want a more in-depth understanding, just book a one-on-one coaching session with me. I'll be more than happy to walk you through every single step of the process. In fact, I got a coaching session to get to in about 45 minutes. All right. Are staffing companies, somebody asked this question. Hold on, because I was in staffing for a long time. Let me see what this question is. All right. Yeah, 30 jobs a day. But listen, Mary, 30 jobs a day per job board. That's 30 on LinkedIn, 30 on Indeed, 30 on ZipRecruiter. If you do what I say with respect to applying to jobs, it takes you 10 minutes to apply to 30 jobs. So it would take you 30 minutes. Okay. Are staffing agencies worth it? Which ones do you know any examples? Yeah. So the reason why companies use staffing agencies is because they don't have the internal engine, the ability to hire people on their own. They just either have a small talent acquisition or HR department that function in the organization is small, or they're hiring in so much volume, right? Maybe it's seasonal, maybe it's not. The reason why they use staffing agencies is because staffing agencies have the resources, which is people, and they're just trying to get people in the organization. So it's worth it, especially if you're trying to transition and move into something else. But this is what I say. If you get a job with a staffing agency, keep looking for a permanent job. And the moment that you get a permanent job, in your assignment and go do that permanent job. Okay. The response after an offer, this is what you say. Thank you very much for this offer. I am very excited about getting started with the team. I was wondering if the company is able to go to whatever that new number is, 2 to 5% more than what they offered. Thank you very much. I look forward to getting started with the team. That's how you that's what you say. That's the response you give 100% of the time. Okay? So make sure you're answering it just like that. What is the best job sites to apply for? LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, Indeed.com. Can you give me the email regarding response again to the pay? I just shared it. I'm following you, Smoke Life. I appreciate that. What were the categories for the behavior-based questions? It is, they're going to ask you a behavior-based question to see how you handle difficult people. Tell me about the time you had to deal with a difficult person, whatever. They're going to ask you a behavior-based question to see how you handle difficult problems in an organization, because problems arise and they may have one that you need to fix. And the third one they're going to ask is, how do you handle difficult or changing processes, right? People, problems, and processes, what we ask 100% of the time. So that those are the categories, okay? Do you recommend taking training while you're unemployed? Okay, so check this out. So if the training does not get you closer to solving the problem for the job that a hiring manager is looking to have someone do, it's not worth it. And by the way, if you are out of work, you should be able to find a job using what it is I just trained you on in less than 30 days. The average person who works with me finds a job in 22 days if they do everything that I say. You shouldn't be out of work that long. So going through what training, right? You can go through training and that's fine if it's going to enhance your skill, but don't go through training in hopes that the training will be the feather in your cap that gets you more. All right. So if you want me to review your resume for free, I could take 5 more resumes. 5. That's it. Email me a copy of your resume. I'll review your resume for free today. I'll respond back to you and tell you what you need to fix if anything needs to be fixed. Send me a copy of your resume. Daniel at dscds.com. We're at 19,800 likes. Let's get it to 120,000. There's 250 of us in the room. If you just tap the screen 10 times, we'll be at 120,000. I really, really appreciate that. Email me a copy of your resume. Daniel at dscds.com. We're at 120,000. I appreciate it. Daniel at dscds.com. I will I'll look at your resume and review it for free and tell you exactly what needs to be fixed on your resume going forward.